Hello, hello, and welcome back here to my little hands-on preview series. On this video, we're gonna take a look at the Cra, which is another class which I'm not too familiar with. I know it's a very popular class. A lot of people love the Cra. A lot of people love how the Cra was. Not a whole lot of people had a problem with it. And overall, the Cra's always been a pretty good class. PvE, PvP, for farming, endgame. People loved it. People loved it, and I was very surprised to see it go through a revamp, especially a major revamp like this. But we're here. We're here to check it out, how it holds up, and ultimately, we'll see how fun it is. Yeah, let's just get started here. If you've seen my other videos, I have my other character here, so I can show off some of these spells properly. So let's get started. First off, we're gonna start with the Earth. It seems like the Earth is like, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's not as straightforward as it seems, or it should be. It kind of looks like you want to play at a distance. But it's got some weird spells where it's funky. It's funky. You'll see. All right. So first off, we're gonna start with Transfusion Arrow. Okay. So with this spell, it's pretty much sustained for the Cra. Here, let's just damage each other. And as you can see here, I have my any ready to show off the intelligence spells. So we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Could focus on the Earth. So yeah, Transfusion Arrow. You hit them, and it's gonna siphon HP off of them. It's gonna be a little bit sustained for you. The only thing that's terrible about it, it's once per target. So once you hit somebody with it, that's kind of it. It has a little gimmick to it, and that is if you hit an ally with it. So we're gonna beat up the Schaefer here. So if I hit him with the Transfusion Arrow, it's gonna take 10% of my HP and give it to the target. Which, I don't know. It's not enough heals to kind of justify it. 10%, as you saw here, he healed him like 100-ish, which is, I don't know. I feel like it could definitely heal a lot more. But yeah, the heals are so low, especially. It might be good at low levels if you're starting off, maybe. But definitely if you're like in F3 doing endgame dungeons, wasting 3p just to heal like 100 damage on somebody, not really worth it. But that's Transfusion Arrow. Next up is Barricade Arrow, and this one's interesting. It's linear, but it has this kind of like elongated AoE, so you could probably snipe things around corners. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to it. Hits alright. So if you use it, 400. Let's see if we get a crit. $400. It probably does like 500 on a crit. Let me just turn on. Wait, does it crit? No, I don't. It doesn't have a crit. Well, let me just double check this. So Transfusion Arrow has a crit. 140. Barricade Arrow. Alright, Barricade Arrow does not crit. So you're looking at a 400-ish off of it. That's alright. That's alright. Next up is the Last Bastion. So this is the spell that the Earth Cra kind of revolves around. And what this does is going to put you in a state called the Guardian state. So you use it on yourself. So what you want to do is use it and kind of position yourself, set yourself up for next turn. Because what happens next turn is, as you can see here, it's going to root you to that cell. It's going to increase your range, 6 range. It's a huge buff. It's going to remove all your MP, put you in gravity, so you're pretty much rooted here. And the thing is, it's gonna boost some of your spells. It's gonna give them additional effects, so that's why you want to be under the state. For Barricade Arrow, it's gonna give it the ability to remove MP. So now you're in the Guardian state. I kind of whiffed there, and then whiffed again. Not a good look here for the Earth Craw, but we'll try again. So again, the MP removal is not guaranteed. As you saw there, it can whiff, which is not a very good investment. Alright, we'll try it again. We'll try it again. That's alright. Okay, here we go again. Guardian state. Let's just do distant shooting. Okay, here we are. Barricade Arrow. Whiffed. Okay, what's going on here? Do I have to target the enemy directly? Bear with me here for a second, guys. Okay, Guardian state. Barricade Arrow. Okay, so it removed 1 MP. The good thing is you can use it more than once. Okay, so we reduced 2 MP on the any. Was it worth it? Oh no. I don't know, it seems pretty terrible. Let's try again. If you have to like target the actual thing you want to remove MP from, it's kind of that would make it kind of a terrible spell. Okay, here we go. Guardian state again. Barricade Arrow. Barricade Arrow. Yeah. It looks like the fall off the fall off of the AOE is not it's not being effective when it comes to removing the MP, which is like the whole point of being. So I'm not sure if that's the bug or that's how the spell is intended to. We'll try one more time here too. So Guardian state. Barricade Arrow. Yeah, it looks like it's only working on that one cell that I'm actually in the middle cell that I'm actually targeting. Okay, well that's Barricade Arrow. Gonna be honest, seems pretty terrible. But let's keep going. Another spell that works with Blast Bastion is Plaguing Arrow. So Plaguing Arrow is a spell where the more you use it on one target, the harder it hits. It's got decent range on it. It's got really great range. But you need line of sight with it. To mitigate that, you put yourself in the Guardian state. The wonderful Guardian state. So on the Guardian state, now we don't need LOS on it. So it kind of leans into the whole thing where you might want to play the Earth Craw at a distance in the back row, kind of just like supporting other characters, just getting around allies with Barricade Arrow and maybe doing some healing. I don't know. So again, was that worth me going into the Guardian mode? Just so I don't have to need line of sight. I mean, I'm a Craw, so it's like I have great range already. And if I need to hit something, like I have mobility options. So that kind of leans into the next new thing with this Craw, is the tactical beacons. So these are summons, but not summons. So they don't show up on the timeline, but they do take up a summon stat. So you can have up to 3. So you want to be able to summon these guys around the field, and you can have 3 max. You can summon once per turn, and when you first summon a beacon, it's invulnerable. They do have health, 750 at level 6, which they could easily be one-shotted. So what these do is you could anchor off of them using this other new spell, Grapple Arrow. Think of this like Link's Hook Shot from Legend of Zelda. You target a beacon and you just kind of gravitate towards it, and you can do that twice a turn. Can you? You can use it twice per turn on different targets. So you kind of can't sip-sap around the field somewhat with these. So that's the mobility option with all the Craws. Pretty much these are support spells, so no matter what Craw you're gonna make, you're gonna be able to use them. So yeah, so those are options there. So I don't, yeah, the Guardian state, it's a little iffy. It's a little iffy. Yeah. But yeah, so let's continue talking about Plaguing Arrow. So Plaguing Arrow kind of leans into another thing, another theme with the Earth Craw, is that the Earth Craw is going to be really good at taking down one target and kind of like hunting down one target. So if we reuse Plaguing Arrow, like I said, its base damage is going to increase the more we use it on that one target. So 516 there, 593, a little bit of a jump. Okay, we're in 500s now. Okay, so 500-ish is how high it goes. Might able to squeeze out 550 out of it. This is a crit? Yeah, it does crit. It's got a high crit rate too. 600-ish on a crit. So you expect to see 550 to 600 on a crit when it's kind of like fully charge, I would say. So that's Plaguing Arrow. Other than that, pretty straightforward. The next spell is Punitive Arrow. So this is going to be kind of like your hard-hitting spell. So right off the bat, it hits 700, which is not bad. For 4 AP, it's got a 3-turn cooldown, but next time you can use it, its base damage is going to be increased by 35, which is a pretty big jump. So look at that, now you're hitting for 1100. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Alright, and then on the third charge, 1600. Which is, I mean, if you like to see big numbers, Earthcrawl might be for you. Also another thing too, with this beacons, they do have some synergy with specific spells. So say, alright, so say we have beacon out here, right? And then we have a beacon over here. Okay. And then say we have a beacon over here. Okay. So one of the spells that has synergy with the beacons is Slashing Arrow. As you can see, the range on it is kind of terrible. If we're talking about a Cra here. so not a whole lot of range. But to mitigate that is you could extend some of these spells using the beacons. So say if I want to hit the punchback with it, I can't. But if I target one of my beacons, it's gonna copy that spell across the beacons. So you saw the little animation, it triggered on all three. But look at that. The Roshan got onto the pouch, which is what the spell does. And it gives me power as well. So that's a way to kind of get around that. And again, that kind of plays into, like, you don't have to be around the vicinity of the fight or the target to take advantage of it. As long as you have a beacon out there, it's going to work. So you definitely want a beacon next to you, because something that does this work off the beacon? No. Because this is gonna power yourself up. 200 damage, 2 turns. You know, and that's gonna be a way to just increase the damage on some of these spells. And if you have other team members around the beacons too, as well, they're gonna receive that buff. So now we do cumulative arrow. Alright, doing 1200. I think last time we did 1100. So let's see if this has a little bit of AoE. No, it looks like I gotta be right next to the beacon. Yeah, I gotta be right next to the beacon to take advantage of the power effect. Yeah. Okay, so something you gotta keep that in mind. But that's pretty much the Earth Craw. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. It requires a little bit of setup. It hits alright. You saw here we're pushing over 600 damage on a crit Plaguing Arrow. The downside is, as soon as you use it on another target, the buff you built on it just goes away. And Punitive Arrow, you know, it takes like 6 turns to like charge up. That was yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would. If I were to make a Cra, I wouldn't necessarily. 1600 on there. I've seen it push to 2k, but it took a lot of work. I wouldn't necessarily go with an Earth Craw. Maybe you gotta mix it with the other elements, but just like on its own, it's not very impressive. It's not very impressive. Damage is alright. There's nothing like flashy about it either. So that's a look at the Earth Craw. Let's switch gears here and let's check out agility. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are with the agility craw, and let's just get right to it. Hopefully it's a little bit better than the Earth one. The Earth one, I don't know about that one, guys. But I'm here with my Any, so I could test out some of the stuff. So retreat arrow is going to be one of your first spells you get. This one's pretty much going to push back your enemies. Schaefer. It's going to push them back for 4 cells. So it might be just linear. It's going to be a good keep away spell, a good positioning spell. And it doesn't hit that bad. Especially with the pushback. Even if you have a little bit of pushback, it adds up. So that was, how much was that? Like 550 with the pushback damage. Not bad, not bad. 600 there on a crit for 3 AP. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good spell. Use it once per target. Also, retreat arrow works with the beacons. It's a little bit of synergy with beacons, so let's show it off here. When you hit a beacon, it let's see if we get a. Let me see. I'm gonna get more targets out on the any sides of the field. Let's get a beacon here on any, so we can show some of the AOE on it. Can we get another summon out? Let's see what else I have. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we got, say you got this set up, you're fighting a bunch of guys at the same time. So what you want to do is put out a beacon next to a target. And when you hit that beacon with a retreat arrow, it's going to turn it into an AoE attack. So let's test that out. And you want the beacon next to something, either a target or the wall. What actually triggers the AoE attack is pushback damage. Okay, so a small little AoE. I think it might be a little cross from the looks of it. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger. It turns out it wasn't. Okay, let's move the Doppel here next to the beacon. And okay, so it's a little short AoE on it. You might be able to take advantage if you're fighting against multiple enemies. Maybe hit like 2 guys at a time. But I think overall you just want to hit whatever you can just directly. As you saw, it doesn't really hit as hard. It doesn't look like it hits as hard when it gets siphoned through the beacon. So that's retreat arrow. Overall, decent spell, not bad. It's got a good range, it's linear, but it's doing pretty good damage. Next up we have poison arrow. And it's pretty straightforward. You do it on enemy, and it's gonna hit them for poison on their turn. It lasts a couple of turns, so if we just pass here. There we go. Pretty simple spell. It doesn't have any synergy with the beacons. Once per target, you can't really stack it. Like, you won't see multiple lines of damage just popping up, but you can keep reapplying it to constantly have the target just poison. Yeah, so that's poison arrow for you. It deals okay damage, and yeah, I mean, if you can use it, go for it. Let's set up the challenge again. Okay, so next up is, it's going to be one of your main spells, which is Pursuit Arrow. So this guy's interesting. So first off, if you use it just raw, it's going to hit and it's going to steal MP. And you can use it twice per target. A parry, but it's steal MP means it's going to add it towards your MP number. So this kind of leans into the whole thing that the agility Cra is about mobility. Kind of just an overall thing with air elements. You know, run with the wind, stay mobile. So that's what that does. If you use a raw, pretty cool spell. It's gonna be useful for PvP, PvM, and it hits pretty well too. 400 on a crit plus the MP removal. It's kind of like the Inu's Shovel of Judgment, I believe. Shovel, one of his shovel spells. It's similar to that. But the spell also has synergy with the beacons and stuff. So here, let's set up a few of these beacons. Just gonna keep passing. Okay, so we got our beacons out. So when you use the spell on a beacon, it's gonna destroy that beacon and give you 3 MP. 3 MP, you saw my MP here, just go up. I'm at 7. Use it on this. 10 MP now. Use it on this. 13 MP. And look at that. Just run all over the place. Call me Forrest Gump. So this is going to be great if you need to get into possession. You can't hit something, you need to get around something. If you got LOS issues, no problem. Put out a beacon, destroy it to get MP, and just pee on your way. So super interesting spell, versatile, hits good. Definitely a level 6 spell. Next up is a very interesting spell, which is a trap spell. And this is Pitfall. So Pitfall acts like a Ram trap. The first term is completely invisible. If I look at my any screen, I can't see it. But if I pass, okay, I still can't see it on my any screen. No, okay, I thought it was gonna become visible at some point. The pitfall remains visible for enemies until the end of the caster's turn. Oh, okay. Okay, so I misread that. So when you first put it out, it's visible. Let me try it again. So if I put another one here. No, I still can't see it on my any screen. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. The pitfall remains visible for adversaries until the end of the caster's turn. Yeah, so I'm not seeing that into play. Unlike the Saran traps, you do need LOS on it, so you can't just like place it behind somebody and push them into it. You kind of have to do a little bit of setup with it, but if you run into it, 400 damage, not bad, and it puts them in a pitfall state. And this can also remove up to 5 MP, so it's like a single cell version of Paralyzing Trap. So once in the pitfall state, this has synergy with our good old pal, the Pursuit Arrow. So if we hit the enemy with under the pitfall state, it's gonna allow us to use Pursuit Arrow for free. So it's gonna refund us that 3 AP. So if you think about it, you know, you do a trap, you do a pitfall, hits for, let's round it up, hits for 450 plus a free Pursuit Arrow. That's like 800 damage off of one trap with 3 AP. So 3 AP can convert into 800 damage, which is huge. So super awesome spell, super awesome. Let's go into that challenge again. MP manipulation seems to be a huge theme here. So definitely agility Cra can't push numbers. I'm really digging it more than the wacky earth, the earth one. Yeah, so that's Pitfall, and then obviously you have options to kind of move people around into the trap. You have retreat arrow, which pushes people. Dispersing arrow, not dispersing arrow. Which is the other one? Let me just pull it out. Grapple, lashing, dispersing arrow. Is that what I'm thinking of? Like I mentioned, I don't play Cra, so I'm not too familiar with their spell names. Yeah, dispersing arrow to kind of make them trigger it. So here, let me show a quick example here. Try and get in front of the any. All right, so here, let's say we place one here, Pitfall. We get our little beacon here. We'll hit that with a pursuit arrow. Get a bit of MP. Get into place. Yeah, push the enemy right into it. Immediately follow with a pursuit arrow, and yeah, you're gonna be pushing damage, you're gonna be pushing mobility, you're going to be locking down targets really well, just running around the map overall as an agility Cra. And don't forget, you guys have like access to the beacon and the grapple, and yeah, much like the agility sack, you know, you're gonna be all over the map. You're gonna be able to navigate through obstacles, around targets. Very versatile, very flexible. And the final spell we have here is Bat's Eye. So Bat's Eye is interesting because it does have synergy with the beacons. If you use it raw, AoE, and it's gonna reduce range on that area. It hits alright. No, it's not gonna reduce range. It's going to reveal invisible enemies. It used to reduce range, but not anymore. So the ramps better watch out, especially when you combine it with the beacons, because with the beacons, it's going to. Yeah, let's get this set up. So say. Okay, so say this is what the field looks like, and my beacons are kind of over the place. And it's got a little bit of cooldown too, which is a little bit of a downside. For what you really get out of it, I don't think the cooldown is justified, but okay, so we got a recharge. If we do Bat's Eye on a beacon, it's gonna copy it across the board. So say I can't hit any, say there's something in the way, I could get around it with a beacon. And there you go. Super cool, could come in use. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the agility Cra. Like I said, I think it's a lot more interesting than the earth one. It's a little bit straightforward, there's a little bit of layers to it, but it's not too bad. The damage output is above average. Okay, let's just go into a punch bag. Okay, let's set up a trap here. And kind of go around. Retreat arrow. Hit him 500. 400. That's close to 1,000 damage. Retreat arrow. It's like 1,400. Oof, I mean, we can hit him again. It's another retreat arrow, or we can hit him No, we can't hit him with a retreat. Let's hit him with a poison. I mean, that's close to like 2k damage right there. First turn. Not bad overall. Not bad. And of course, you could do the whole, you know, set up your beacon. Hit it with the lashing to increase your power. Push that damage a little bit. Move around. 400 on that poison. It's got pretty good range. Set up that trap. Dispersing arrow right into it. Oh, right there. Yeah, definitely a lot more dynamic than the Earth. I think it's a lot more interesting. Once you get used to how, you know, the spells kind of play off each other, I think it can really shine. And I would definitely put it above the Earth. But yeah, that was pretty simple, straightforward. That was kind of quick. But let's move on to the last build of the Cra, which is going to be your Intelligence Cra. I'll be right back with the switch. Alright, here we are with the final version of the Cra, which is going to be your Intelligence Fire Cra. Hopefully it's going to be an exciting build. Let's see. Let's get right into it. Piercing Arrow. It's got 2 lines of damage. Inflicts fire damage, then inflicts extra fire damage as a target has more than half of HP. Okay, that's interesting. It's got pretty good range, decent range. Ooh, nice damage on it. And we have 1/2 on it. Oh, it's just once per turn, of course. Okay, let's get a Schaefer out. It's like 600. Close to 600. Push it a little bit over 800 on the crit. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good spell. It sucks it's only once per turn, but pretty good. Pretty good. Next up we got Abolition Arrow. Inflicts fire damage if the spell target dies during the turn. It bursts adjacent allied entities and inflicts fire damage on them. Oh, this is a mouthful on this one. When the spell is cast on one of the Cra's beacon, it kills it instantly and refunds the cost of Abolition Arrow to the caster. The beacon inflicts fire damage and burns. Okay. So if you kill something. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. It's like a little meteor coming down. Alright, so it does nothing on allies. But if we use it on the beacon, so say we got a beacon out, now the enemies run next to the beacon, and if we hit the beacon with Abolition Arrow, it's going to destroy that automatically. It's going to refund us Abolition Arrow. And we could hit 581 on it. And that's going to put fire damage or burn state on the pouch, which is going to be kind of like your fire poison, pretty much. 226 on that? It's not bad. Ooh, that. You know what? I love how the spell feels. The animation and the feedback, it feels like it hurts. He gets twice per turn too, so you could just like bombard somebody with it. Let's try it again. Bam. Bam! It's almost 600 damage on it. I like this spell. It smells pretty cool. Yeah, and the poison thing is neat. Like, say this was just like random little dude. You know, you kill him, and then it's gonna do splash damage on whatever's next to you, and yeah, you still have AP to do other stuff. And there goes the poison. Yeah, not bad. I like it. Appellation arrow. Yeah, so yeah, say if I was able to kill the Schaefer with it, it would do the burn splash damage on it. Pretty cool. I like it. Burning arrow. Inflicts fire damage and pushes the target back. Burns the enemy's hit. Ooh, look at the AoE on that. Twice? Yeah, he used it twice. And that should... Oh, we killed it. Too many appellation arrows. Sorry, we'll try again. Let's go here. So I wonder... Yeah, let's try something. Yeah, it's just gonna hit everybody in that row. 621. Yeah, and again with the fire damage too. So you could probably push 700 damage on it. 700, 800, not bad. Can we stack the fire? Let's see. Appellation. Whew. Some heavy hits right there. No, you can't. No, you can't stack the fire. It's just the one burn state, and that's it. Okay, well that was worth a try. Next up, we have blinding arrow. All right, so this one's gonna remove range, inflicts fire damage in the area of effect, and reduces range on the enemy's hit when the spell targets a beacon. Okay, so this is one of those spells where it gets replicated across the beacons. So we got beacon there. So we got beacon there. Yeah, so +3 summons. It's gonna be very... Oh yeah, see? I can't get on my beacons up. So that's definitely something Cross had to take into consideration. So we're gonna try that. It has pretty good range too. Oh, look at that. I wonder if you could... Oh no. Should we try, guys? I'm wondering if you could overlap that area of... It's not big. Let's try it. Let's try it. And this probably won't happen in a real fight. But maybe it can. Maybe with some shenanigans. With the Sacrier. So what I'm gonna try to do here is surround the punch bag with beacons. Okay, and then since we're gonna hit one with them, it should replicate on 2 more. Is this gonna work, guys? What do you think? Okay, let's go. Yeah, it worked. So there's the initial hit, 413, and replicate at 400, 425. That's 1200. Can we do it again? Oh, we can do it twice. Can't spell. Okay, can't cast that spell at the moment. Cast another one. Oh, we killed it though. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, with character positioning, we saw the Sack's pretty good positioner, swapping stuff around, moving stuff around. Yeah, I mean the Cra does have positioning spells as well, where you could set something up like this very, very easily. Okay, I mean the only thing to keep in mind is that the beacons do have health, and they can be destroyed. I just want to get it off twice. Oh, alright, let's try one more time, and we'll move on. Get some fresh beacons here. Alright, we're all set up here. Let's throw in a which is this lashing arrow. Get some erosion on the bag. Get some power. Where's the burning arrows? 4 AP, alright, so we can use it twice. No, not burning arrow. Blinding arrow. Alright, so that's 1200. That's another 1200. So right there, that's it's like 2400 points of damage. And we still have AP. Let's do this. That's a lot of damage, guys. The Fire Cross definitely outshining the Earth build. I don't know what's up with that build. And then we have Explosive Arrow. Inflicts fire damage in an area of effect and increases the caster's power for each enemy hit. Damage is increased on burnt enemies. Oh, okay, so this is another spell where, like, if you shoot this... What? What? Bruh. Bruh. Do you guys see that? What? Okay, so now the beacon. All right, beacons are almost dead. All right, so we gotta try that again. Oh, you could use this thing right up with somebody's. You could use this thing right up in your face too. All right. This hand-on here is getting a little cray, guys. A little cray. See, but this is the kind of stuff I love, and would like to see more out of, you know, just the characters, just like crazy shenanigans, crazy setups. Okay, it did say something about being burnt. Okay, so here, let's just test it raw. Yeah, you're hitting like 5. Oh, you increase your power too. It's gonna be an excellent farming tool just to hit multiple enemies. Yeah, so only can do it once per target, but not once per turn. Oh, 630 on a crit. All these spells are hitting pretty hard, guys. 600, yeah. Okay, so if the target is burnt, it deals more damage, right? Did I do that right? Okay, so we know how to burn enemies. Put a beacon out. And then we abolish it. Boom. Burn right there, you can see it right here. And then explosive arrow.
Low roll maybe?
Explosive arrow. 650. I figure it would do a little bit more damage. Increase on burned enemies. So why am I seeing 2 lines of damage here? Okay, so the last time I used it at 650 on a crit. Yeah, the beacons are really cool to extend your stuff. Like, say I'm like right here, right? And it's like, oh no, I can't hit the punch bag. That's all right. Just explosive arrow this thing here. Boom, just transfer it.
Just like ping pong the spell around.
Actually, that's cool. That's cool. The ping pong build. I like that.
Ping pong build. It's gonna go well with the zigzag build from the sack.
Yeah, so it looks like the intelligence version wants to replicate their spells with the beacons. Like so far we have explosive arrow that works off the beacons. Abolition. And blinding arrow. So three of your spells, 3 of your fire spells, right off the bat have some sort of interactivity with the beacons. Yeah, not to mention like some of the support spells. Look at that. Okay, so right off, yeah, definitely the fire craw, intelligence craw is definitely the most interesting out of all of them for me personally. If I were to make a craw, it would definitely be an intelligence craw. Yeah, so I'm seeing 2 lines of damage here, but then this guy has 2 lines of damage. Let's just talking here. Let's. Damage is increased on burnt enemies. Yeah, so I don't know what's up going on with that, but it's got AoE. 2 spells hit for AoE. This one's huge. I mean, this one counts as AoE as well. Burning now. Super cool. Okay, so are we missing anything? You know what? I didn't pick up the class spell. Let me do that really quick. Be right back. Alright guys, here we are again. So we picked up the class spell, which is Recall Beacon. And of course this is the one you pick up at the Doppel temples. So what it does, targets a tactical beacon present on the field. At the start of the next turn, makes the cross switch places and kills the beacon. Okay, so there's another beacon kind of spell. So, alright, so let's get a beacon out. The range. It's got alright range. Alright, so what it's gonna do is it's gonna switch places. Yeah, there we go. Some mobility options, like you saw here, I went backwards. It's got a little bit of cooldown, so you gotta watch out for that. But also another thing too, you could use it to kind of advance some few spaces. So let's say, okay, it goes that far. So let's put it at the maximum distance. Recall that. And yeah, and that's gonna move me forward, and it's cool. Just a mobility option across the board for all the cross. But yeah, I mean, to wrap things up, guys, for me, intelligence Cra, the fire Cra, definitely takes the cake for me. It would be like, I love this spell right here. I love the impact. It has like the same effect where with the Cra, with the sack, had the sip sash, and it just felt really good to use that spell, the light speed spell. This spell has the same effect on me, where like, it sounds like it really hurts, and it does decent damage to boot. But yeah, like the fire Cra could just like bombard the field. Like, save or use explosive arrow here. Look at that. You could like literally just like bombard the field with all these like crazy spells. Boom. Boom. It's like dropping nukes. It just feels good. For me, the intelligence one feels good. The spells feel good. They have a good impact. Even that one, like, look, it sounds like it hurts. And what I like about it too is like a lot of these spells you could double up on too. It's like, use multiple times, which is good. It's not as limiting. But even just me talking here, like we really take down the health on this thing. All right, so guys, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up with the revamps. If you haven't already, the any videos out, the Sakura videos out. And that should cover all the classes that are going through this major overhaul. Beta has a lot more changes with other classes. Well, I'm not going to cover them in video form. I might do a podcast when the actual update hits. I might cover that there. But I do want to make a video on the doppels and just going over all the doppels, since we're here on the beta and I could just class change and I could show them off very easily without paying for class change potions, because I think they're like 20 or 30 bucks. So yeah, if I were to make that video, this would be the time to do it. So yeah, so we'll check those out, and yeah, and like always, drop a like, sub if you haven't, and leave a comment on these videos. Of a lot of this stuff is just personal opinion, of course, my impressions, but I would love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think of these like long videos? This is so cool. I just want to keep messing with it. And yeah, until next time, people, this has been Challenger EX. Take care of yourself, and yeah, go check out all these cool classes. Bye bye.